Hey, what's going on everybody? So today we're going to be taking a look at iOS 15.1 as well as iPadOS 15.1. So let's go ahead and talk about what's new here. Alright, so first off, just real quick, this is an iPhone 10 and this update came in at 1.22 gigabytes on this device, and on the iPad it actually came in a little bit less at 1.18 gigabytes, and that is an iPad 7th generation. So this adds several new features here. This isn't like a little minor security update. These are usually actual feature updates. So the first thing here is Shareplay. So Shareplay was announced when iOS 15 was announced, but they're just now getting around to actually implementing the feature for the devices. So basically what Shareplay allows you to do is share different content while you're on a FaceTime call. So all you have to do is start up a FaceTime call, and you just swipe up to go back to your home screen, and then you can go to something like your music app or your TV app, and you can share content from there. So you literally just tap on a song or you tap on a TV show or movie, and it will automatically share that content to your FaceTime call. So it's kind of a way to, I don't know, watch a movie with somebody long distance, or show somebody a song that you really want them to hear, or something like that. Also, when you're sharing content, it gives everybody the ability to pause it, rewind it, or fast forward, so everybody can actually control the content themselves. And if somebody has something to say about the content while it's playing, your volume will automatically adjust. So, if your friend says something about the song, then your music volume will go down while they say something, and then when they get done, it'll go back up. And also in FaceTime now with Shareplay, you have the ability to share your screen. So maybe you want to show somebody a photo instead. Well, you can just share your iPhone screen or your iPad screen, and it will show throughout the whole FaceTime call. So that is Shareplay now enabled here in iOS 15.1. Next thing has to do with the camera, and this is for the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max models. So you can record ProRes video on the new iPhone 13 Pro. That was a feature that was announced, of course, but not yet implemented, but it is now implemented here in iOS 15.1. And also there's a setting to turn off the automatic camera switching when you are using the macro mode. So you can go into your settings and the camera app, and you can choose whether or not to have auto macro on or off. And then when you go into your camera app and you're taking a photo or a video, you can choose to toggle on or off the macro button in the camera app instead of it automatically switching. So with the 13 Pro, you get really close to a subject and it automatically switches to the macro mode. Well, some people didn't want that. They wanted to, just get close to the subject to take a normal photo, not a macro photo. So you now have the ability to record ProRes and the ability to turn on and off the macro camera. Next thing is the Apple Wallet. So you can now put your vaccination status in the Wallet app if you needed to identify that with somebody. The Translate app also now features Mandarin Chinese support, so you can now have that language if you are using the Translate app. For the Home app, there are new automation triggers based on different sensors. So this is kind of interesting. So if you have a smart home device, let's say it measures something like humidity or air quality, or even the level of lighting, you can choose whether or not to have an automatic trigger if those levels get to a certain point. So for example, if your humidity gets to a certain level, well, you can choose to turn on, the purifier or whatever you have. Same thing with the light. If the light detects that the lighting level in the room is getting low, you can choose to turn on that light. So that's actually a pretty cool new automation feature there in the Home app. Next thing here is the Shortcuts app. So with Shortcuts, you now have a pre-built-in action to allow you to overlay text on images or GIF. So that's a new shortcut feature. And then also they claim there's a new collection of games that lets you pass the time with Siri. I don't use the Shortcuts app, so I'm not really sure why you'd want to do that, but those features are now there as well. Let's talk about some of the bug fixes they've addressed here in 15.1. So the first one is your Photos app may incorrectly report storage is full when you're importing photos or videos. So that should be good now. Some people were saying that in the Weather app, it was not showing the current temperature for their location. and the animated backgrounds may be displaying incorrectly. So, it might be daytime, it's still showing nighttime, and your temperature's wrong. So those things should be fixed now as well. There was another issue where people were having problems where they were playing audio from their device, and as soon as they would lock their phone, the audio would stop. Obviously, that's not how these things are supposed to be, so that should be fixed now too. There was a problem with an accessibility feature called VoiceOver and the Wallet app, so your Wallet app may unexpectedly quit if you were using the VoiceOver feature with multiple wallet passes. So that should be fixed. Next thing was available Wi-Fi networks. We're not being detected sometimes, so that should be good. And then the final thing is your battery algorithms are now being updated on the iPhone 12 models to better estimate the battery capacity health over time. So they did the same thing with the iPhone 11, and now they're doing it for the iPhone 12. So your maximum capacity, if you're on an iPhone 12 model, may have changed after this update. And that's pretty much everything here for the iPhone. So let's just real quickly talk about the iPad. So as usual, most of the features are relatively the same since they're basically still the same software. Really the only differences here is there's not as many bug fixes. The only bug fixes on your iPad is the Photos app reporting incorrect storage, the audio not playing when you lock your phone or your iPad, and then the Wi-Fi network's not being detected. But the big thing here with the iPad is they've now added in live text. So if you have an iPad with the A12 Bionic chip or later, you can now use the live text feature that they added in for iOS 15, and that's been on your iPhone for a little while now. So if you don't know about live text, you can basically use the camera app on your device, and it allows you to recognize text, phone numbers, addresses, and all sorts of stuff like that through the camera app. And then also you can take that text and put it into any different fields. Like if you went to Safari and you didn't want to type out a website, you could actually do the camera while you're in Safari and put the camera on the website, and then it would fill in the address bar for you. So live text is a pretty cool feature there, but you have to have an iPad with the A12 Bionic or later, and this 7th gen iPad is definitely not going to work with that. And then finally here, Apple always has security updates for their software updates. So for 15.1, there are quite a few here. You can head over to the Apple support page and you can see these for yourself, but this is the most security updates I've seen in quite some time, even on like updates that are just for security updates. So quite a few here, WebKit things, several of those, voice control, UI kit, Siri, the Model I/O, several of those, kernel is a pretty important one, image processing, iCloud, haven't seen one of those in a long time, GPU drivers, few of those, file provider, core graphics, core audio, continuity camera, color sync, and then audio. So yeah, quite a few things here. If you want to go into detail on those and see exactly what was happening in each one of those, you can check out the link in the description, or you can go look up the Apple support page for yourself. But yeah, guys, as far as that goes, that is it for iOS 15.1 and iPadOS 15.1. So let me know what you think about this update in the comments down below. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching as always, and I will catch you all in the next video.